Tour de France is more than just a bike race. It's a moving monument, a 3-week journey through the heart of France that has become a global sporting institution. Each July, the world turns its eyes to the vibrant peloton as it snakes through picturesque villages and over legendary mountain passes. But, this modern spectacle, with its high-tech equipment and worldwide audience, is a world away from its humble and, brutal origins. The race was actually born from a commercial rivalry. It was created in 1903 by the newspaper L'Auto to boost its circulation and crush its competitor, Le Vélo. Little did its founders know they were creating a legend that would endure for over a century. The inaugural Tour de France was, honestly, an experiment, a test of human endurance that was almost unimaginably difficult. The race was contested by a small but brave group of 60 riders, a mixture of professionals and adventurers. They set out to conquer a route that was vastly different from today's format. The race consisted of only 6 stages, but these stages were colossal. They stretched over a total distance of 2,428 kilometers, demanding that riders pedal through the day and quite often deep into the night. It was less a sporting event and more a raw, unfiltered adventure against the elements, the clock, and the limits of human stamina. The challenge was not just the distance, but the conditions under which the riders competed. The roads were mostly unpaved, consisting of gravel and dirt tracks that were treacherous and unforgiving. The support that modern riders take for granted was entirely absent. Competitors were responsible for their own repairs and had to find their own food and lodging along the route. This self-reliance was a core principle of the early race, turning each participant into a solitary warrior battling against the immense odds stacked against him. Only 21 of the original 60 starters would make it to the finish line in Paris. The first ever winner, Maurice Garin, became a national hero. His victory was a testament to his incredible resilience and fortitude. He conquered the monstrous stages, the poor roads, and the isolation to write his name into history. The race was a success for its creators, as the public became captivated by the daily dramas reported in the pages of L'Auto. The stories of struggle, cheating, and sheer willpower captured the imagination of France. This laid the foundation for the Tour's future, establishing it as a narrative of human struggle and triumph that would continue to evolve for decades to come. The equipment used in the early 20th century really highlights the sheer difficulty of the first Tour de France. The bicycles were rudimentary machines, a far cry from the aerodynamic marvels of today. They were constructed from heavy steel and featured fixed gears, meaning riders couldn't change their resistance to match the terrain. To tackle a climb, a rider might have to dismount and physically flip their rear wheel around to engage a different-sized cog. This made every ascent a monumental effort, and every descent a perilous, brake-scorching ordeal. Helmets were non-existent, and riders wore simple woolen jerseys and shorts, offering little protection or comfort. The physical toll of these early races was immense, pushing competitors to their absolute limits. The stages were brutally long, with the longest in the 1903 edition stretching an incredible 471 kilometers from Nantes to Paris. This single stage took the winner over 18 hours to complete. Riders had to pedal through the darkness of night, guided only by the faint light of the moon or small lamps attached to their bikes. Fatigue was a constant enemy, leading to hallucinations and accidents on the poorly lit, unpaved roads. The average speed of the inaugural race was a mere 25.7 kilometers per hour, which really shows just how punishing the conditions and basic technology were. Support was a foreign concept in this era of rugged individualism. There were no team cars following behind with spare bikes, water bottles, and food. Riders were expected to be completely self-sufficient. If a bicycle broke down, the rider had to fix it himself, often stopping at a local blacksmith's forge to make repairs. This rule was enforced strictly. One early favorite, Eugene Christophe, famously lost his chance at victory when he had to weld his own broken fork. This emphasis on self-reliance created heroes out of the men who could endure not just the pedaling, but also the mechanical and logistical nightmares of the race. The media coverage, while primitive by today's standards, was the very reason for the race's existence. The narrative was controlled by newspaper journalists who followed the race by train. They would gather stories at the start and finish of each stage, wiring their dramatic reports back for the next day's edition of L'Auto. These articles were filled with tales of epic struggles and heroic feats, transforming the riders into characters in a grand drama. The public eagerly consumed these stories, creating a mythology around the Tour that cemented its place in the national consciousness and ensured its survival and growth in the years to come. Fast forward to the 21st century, and the Tour de France is a completely transformed event. The 2024 edition, like most modern tours, featured 21 stages spread over 23 days, allowing for 2 crucial rest days. The total distance covered was around 3,492 kilometers, a significant increase from 1903, but broken down into much more manageable daily efforts. The race is no longer an individual battle for survival, but a highly strategic team sport. Each of the 22 teams works as a cohesive unit, with specific roles for climbers, sprinters and support riders, all dedicated to helping their leader achieve victory. This intricate tactical dance is a defining feature of the modern race. The technological advancements are perhaps the most striking difference. Riders in 2024 competed on ultra-lightweight carbon fiber bicycles that weigh as little as 6.8 kilograms, the minimum allowed by regulations. These bikes are equipped with electronic gearing systems that allow for instantaneous and precise shifting with the mere touch of a button. Aerodynamics govern everything, from the shape of the frames and wheels to the design of the helmets and skin-tight lycra suits. This relentless pursuit of technological advantage has dramatically increased the pace of the race, with the average speed in 2024 exceeding a blistering 41 kilometers per hour, which is honestly a testament to modern engineering and athletic conditioning. The support system for a modern rider is immense and all-encompassing. Each team has multiple support cars in the race convoy, equipped with spare bikes, wheels, food and drinks. Riders are in constant radio contact with their team directors, who provide real-time information on race conditions, rival tactics, and time gaps. This communication transforms the race into a high-speed chess match played out on the roads of France. Furthermore, riders are supported by a traveling entourage of mechanics, doctors, physiotherapists, and chefs, all ensuring that the athletes are in peak condition for every stage of the grueling 3-week event. Media coverage has evolved from print journalism into a massive global broadcast. The Tour de France is now televised live in nearly 200 countries, reaching a worldwide audience of billions. Helicopters and drones provide stunning aerial shots of the peloton winding through spectacular landscapes, while on-bike cameras offer a visceral rider's eye view of the action. GPS tracking allows fans to follow their favorite riders in real time online. This comprehensive multi-platform coverage has turned the Tour into one of the biggest annual sporting events on the planet, creating global superstars and bringing the drama of the race to a massive, engaged audience every single day. The evolution of the Tour de France from 1903 to 2024 is a story of profound transformation. What began as a desperate marketing ploy by a newspaper has blossomed into a global sporting spectacle. The contrast between the two eras is, well, really stark. The pioneers of 1903 were solitary adventurers, battling immense distances on crude machines with no support. They were Iron Men on steel bikes, racing through the night on gravel roads in a raw test of individual will. Their struggle was one of pure survival, a gritty, unvarnished contest that captured the imagination of a nation through the dramatic prose of newspaper reports. Today, the Tour is the pinnacle of professional cycling, a showcase of elite athleticism, advanced technology, and complex team strategy. The modern rider is a finely tuned athlete, supported by a vast infrastructure dedicated to optimizing performance. The heavy single-speed bikes have been replaced by feather-light carbon fiber marvels, and the lonely, self-reliant struggle has given way to a team-based tactical battle orchestrated via radio communication. The race is faster, safer, and more scientifically managed, a reflection of over a century of progress in sports science, engineering, and logistics. It has become a polished, high-stakes professional endeavor. The journey from a national curiosity to a global phenomenon was driven by technology, both on and off the bike. The advent of television, and later the internet, took the Tour from the pages of French newspapers to screens around the world. Live broadcasts transformed the race from a series of dispatches into a continuous, immersive experience. This global reach brought new sponsors, bigger budgets, and a more international field of competitors, solidifying the Tour's status as a premier event on the world sporting calendar. The race became not just a journey through France, but a spectacle for the entire world to witness. In conclusion, while the fundamental challenge of covering thousands of kilometers on a bicycle remains, the Tour de France of today is almost unrecognizable from its inaugural edition. It has evolved from a brutal, almost foolhardy adventure for a handful of hardy men into one of the most technologically advanced and widely watched sporting events in the world. Yet it has never lost its core appeal, the dramatic narrative of human beings pushing their bodies and minds to the absolute limit. The spirit of Marie